If groups are enabled for the event that you are participating in, then you may have the option to create a new group for joining. Keep in mind, if you do not see the following features available, then the race does not have this feature enabled. You will need to contact the race directly for more information on whether they would like to allow groups on RunSignUp. The race can be reached by going to the race page, scrolling down to the race contact info section, and filling out the questions form. If the race does have this feature enabled, then you will be able to create a group either during registration or after registration. Please note that certain race directors may not allow participants to create their own groups. If groups are enabled on a race, but the option to create a new group has been disabled, then you may still be able to join a group, as is explained in how to join an existing group. This tutorial will cover finding the group setup during registration, finding the group setup after registration, creating a group, saving a group, and general group features. Finding the group setup during registration. Provided that groups are enabled for the event that you are signing up for, then during the registration process, you will see a button marked Group/Team. If you do not see this option, then groups are not currently enabled for that particular event. To begin creating a group, make sure that the event that you are signing up for is checked off. Then, click on the corresponding Group/Team button. Once the Group Team window pops up, click on the button for New Group/Team, and then you will be given the fields needed to create and join your own group. Finding the group setup after registration. Provided that groups are enabled for the event you have signed up for, then after the registration process, you can join a group by going to your profile page, selecting My Registered Races, and then selecting View Edit Registration. Click on the Group/Team tab, and the default view will allow you to see your current group information. Click on the tab for Create New Group/Team, and then you will be given the fields needed to create and join your own group. Creating a group. Once you have arrived at the New Group/Team section, whether during or after registration, the steps you will go through to create a group are the same. First, select a group type from the drop-down menu. A group type designates a specific type of group that the race director allows registrants to create. The details pertaining to each group type will appear as you select each one from the list. Group types may be set up to be very basic and all-inclusive, or they can be specific to age, gender, group size, or a variation of the different elements. In many cases, group types are set up with different restrictions to help with scoring and prize purposes. If you would like to learn more about why certain group type options and restrictions are set up, then please contact the race directly by going to the race page, scrolling down to the race contact info section, and filling out the questions form. Next, enter your group name into the text box provided. The group name can be anything you would like, though it will be displayed on all Group/Team pages, so please make sure that it is appropriate for all race participants. If there is a gender requirement associated with this team type, then you can select one of the options available to you. The possible options are co-ed, male, and female, though you may not see all of these listed, as the race director decides which type of groups can be created with this group type. If you only see male and female to choose from, then the only possible groups that can be created from this group type are all male or all female teams. If you only see the option for co-ed, then you can only create co-ed teams. And if you only see the option for female, then only female teams can be created with this group type. Please note that the gender selection menu is not asking whether you are a male, female, or co-ed. This section is meant to designate which gender or genders will be eligible for joining your team. If you have made a mistake in filling out the gender field, then please contact the race directly in order to have your team changed to co-ed. Keep in mind though that some group types are restricted to allow only all male or all female teams. This decision is made by the director of each individual race, and is commonly set up this way for scoring purposes. If there is an age group option associated with this group type, then you can select the one that suits you from the drop-down menu. If the race has not set up an age group that includes your age, then you cannot create a group of this type, and you will need to select a different group type. If necessary, please contact the race directly for questions regarding their age group setup. This can be done from the race page, by going to the race contact info section, and filling out the questions form. When creating a group, you may also have the option to set a password needed for joining that group. To set the password for your group, click on Set Password, and enter it into the text box provided. Also, make sure that you write down or memorize your password. In the case of a forgotten or unknown group password, please refer to the section on How to Edit a Group Password. Saving your group. If you are creating a group during the registration process, then make sure that all of your group settings are correct, and click Continue to move on with registration. Once you have completed the registration process, your group will be created. However, if you leave the registration process before completing your transaction at the checkout, then the group will not be created. Also, please note that if you are registering multiple people at once on the same transaction, then you will notice that any participants assigned to a group will have that group name next to the event that they have selected. And for any participants who are not assigned to a group, it will say No Group/Team Selected. To simply join the same group as another registrant, open up the Group Team window and select the group from under the section for Groups for Other Registrants. Additional registrants also have the option to create their own groups or join existing groups, as is explained in How to Join an Existing Group. If you are creating a group after the registration process, then make sure that all of your group settings are correct, and click on Create and Join New Group/Team. Please note that some races may require you to pay in order to create a group. In these cases, fill out your credit card payment information, and then click Create and Join New Group. If you have a question about the group setup fee, please contact the race directly by going to the race page, scrolling down to the race contact info section, and filling out the questions form. General Group Features. Group Administrators. The group administrator can be any registrant of the event, and by default, the group's creator is automatically set as the group administrator. However, it is not a requirement that the group administrator needs to be a member of the group. The group administrator can add and delete group members, they can add and delete group administrators, and they can edit certain group settings. More information on this topic can be found in the section for How to View and Manage a Group. If you happen to remove yourself as a group administrator, and there are no longer any group administrators set on your group, then you will need to contact the race directly, and they will be able to give you administrator access again. They can be reached by going to the race page, scrolling down to the race contact info section, and filling out the questions form. Transferring to another group. To transfer to another group, follow the instructions in the preceding section for finding the group setup after registration. Once at the group setup page, you can either follow the steps explained previously for creating and joining a new group, or you can join an existing group, as is explained in How to Join an Existing Group. By creating and joining a new group, or by joining an existing group, this group information will automatically overwrite your existing group information, so you don't have to remove yourself from a group in order to join a new group. Removing yourself from a group. To remove yourself from a group, go to your profile page, select My Registered Races, and then choose View Edit Registration. Next, open up the tab labeled Group/Team, click on the Existing Group/Team tab, and in the Select Existing Group/Team drop-down menu, select the No Group option. Then, click on Update Group Team to confirm your removal from the group. Keep in mind that if you are joining a new group, then you do not need to remove yourself from the current group before joining the new one. By joining a new group, you will automatically be removed from the previous group when you are added to the new group. A written instruction manual is also available for this topic and can be viewed in the How To section of RunSignUp.